Hi folks, welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch another cool morning here in the Ozarks, but I'd say by tomorrow it's probably going to be ending. It's going to be getting back up into some temperatures that are above normal. So if you live in this area, don't get too used to it. We're going to see some warm temperatures again. Last night we ended our fundraiser for our emergency response team here in the county that we've been going on for 2 years now and have helped people, save lives, taught classes, got a couple of classes coming up here this month, all kinds of stuff. We work with the fire departments, the sheriff's department, the county emergency management, the health department, highway patrol. We work with them all. We work with regional search and rescue teams because we are a search and rescue team. So it's a big deal. Well, anyways, we're a nonprofit. We need funding. And so we did that fundraiser for that medical bag. It ended last night. I will be picking a name tomorrow. And someone out there is going to be getting, they're talking a $400 or $500 bag. If you went and bought something like this, it's quite nice. And so we're really excited about that. But I want to just thank all of you that have contributed to this. We are overwhelmed and feel very blessed that there's so many good-hearted people out there that still, in this day and age, with all the stuff that's going on, is willing to help out for an amazing cause. And these funds will go to excellent stuff. There's no administrative fees, at least in the sense that none of us get paid. We're not even getting our gas, our fuel paid for. This stuff is going to buy equipment, some training, and so we are extremely grateful for all of you that contributed to this fundraiser. So thank you very much for that. I also want to mention that this month, the 26th of October, is our big monthly meeting that we always have. And I'm telling you right now, this is going to be a big one. You need to make plans. Some of you only come occasionally, maybe once a year, twice a year. Maybe it's been a couple of years just because of the distance. You can't drive several hours all the time. Well, I'm telling you, this is the one to be at. This is a big, big, big deal. We have several executives of big companies that are flying in to put on an amazing presentation. And I know that sounds, what are you doing, multi-level marketing? No, it's nothing like that. In case you haven't heard, this year Missouri signed into law the absolute best gold and silver bill in the United States. It's leaps and bounds above any other states, and I'm not bragging just because I live in the state of Missouri. It is absolutely true. Just about everything you could hope for in passing gold and silver legislation, enshrining it in Missouri law, that it is protected and it is a Missouri currency. It's happened. They've protected it against forfeiture and seizure by the federal government, by the state government. The state government cannot participate in any federal government seizure, and the state government has an obligation to protect your gold and silver from the federal government. There's no capital gains taxes. It is written into law to be used as an actual currency. There will at some point most likely be, it's all being discussed and worked out, a Missouri minted currency that is gold and silver. So a lot of things are happening with this, and it opens the doorways for gold and silver backed banks, for businesses to use gold and silver. And so we are bringing in some of the leading experts into how to do this. These are heads of gold and silver banks, and yes, they do exist. Metal companies, gold, precious metal companies and stuff, that these guys are the experts in the field. And so they are putting on a big presentation to teach you how to do it. We haven't used gold and silver in commerce for so long that most Americans, we might kind of have an idea how to do it, but we don't know how to do it. And so this is to teach businesses how to take gold and silver, how do you work that out, because it's different, all of that. So this is a big deal, and they're also going to be giving away gold and silver to people that come through the door. You don't have to buy anything, you don't have nothing like that. I don't know how much we're going to give away. I can't promise that every single person that walks through the door is going to get some gold and silver, but there is a pretty significant amount of gold and silver that's been set aside by these companies. They're doing it, they're offering it, and they're going to give it away, and to get people in the door, because they are just as passionate as I am, as those of us that's been working on this for several years. This has been a long process here in the state of Missouri to do this, but to do it right. That was part of our big motivation. We didn't want to just pass something that was just weak and meant nothing. We wanted to pass the best, and so the guy that wrote the bill is going to be there. This is a big deal. So if you're interested, I know this is a really long introduction, but it's part of the video. If you're interested for more information, shoot me an email. I've got a flyer that I can send you that'll give you all the details. But the reason why this is important, I mean, if you look at what's going on in the world today, you already know it. Like, you know, unless you just woke up today for the first time saying, what's going on? And you click on my video and you're one of the normies that's plugged into the matrix. Every one of you watching gets it, that it's bad. Things are in bad shape. The dollar is in collapse. By market standards, it's lost about 11% this year. Comparing it to gold, which is what it should be, it's lost over 50%. Gold is over $4,000. Silver is nearing $50 an ounce. The Russian ruble has gained 40% value over the US dollar this year, because governments and companies are not using it nearly as much internationally. There's a sell-off of US dollars and US debt internationally by China and Australia and Japan and other countries. Right now, the India is now using the Chinese yuan and purchasing oil from Russia. This is critical, okay? It is a critical situation. Yes, I get it. It was announced a peace deal between Israel and Hamas. Well, it's not as solid as you think. In fact, Israel hasn't even voted to accept it, and the IDF has said that they do not accept this, and several other officials in Israel said that they don't accept it. Will it get passed? Probably, but we'll see how this all works out. And maybe it will pass, maybe it will happen, but that doesn't mean it's the end-all be-all. I said this the other day. This is not the end-all be-all thing, because most likely as soon as this is over, Israel's going to turn, and the United States are going to turn their attention to Iran. I think that's been the one thing holding, because they know that's going to be such a big deal. They don't want to get tied up in a couple of things. There's all kinds of stuff. There's all the violence here in the United States. There's the Insurrection Act probably going to be activated here in the next few days. Who knows? We've got military troops on the ground. We're talking about arresting governors and mayors, and it's crazy. The world has gone absolutely mad, right? And at the center of all that is money, because money makes the world go round. And the world is realizing that the thing that the world has depended upon for decades now, the US dollar, is really not that big of a deal anymore. You know, we're over $37 trillion in debt, and there's no talk of getting less in debt. I mean, it's just pile on some more. The tariffs has really weaponized the US dollar and made it worse. And the funny thing is the White House and pretty much no one in this administration is out there saying, oh, don't worry, the US dollar's fine. They're not really saying that. What are they saying? Oh, cryptocurrency and stablecoin, that's the way to go. It's great. Just the other day, the president said that the United States is leading China in cryptocurrency, and that's debatable, but the point is, he's not talking about the US dollar. They're talking about stablecoin. They're talking about cryptocurrency because that's what they want. And that's what we are watching happen. This is something that you and I have talked about for years, that this day would come where the US dollar is losing its value and the government is going to do this, switcheroo to move us over to crypto, stablecoin, whatever you want to call it. To me, it's really the same thing, even though there is differences. Well, we're watching that happen in real time, folks. We're watching it happen in real time. Is it going to happen in the next few weeks or few months? I don't know, but a year or two away, yeah, I think for sure, and that may be stretching it. And so knowing how to buy and sell and do commerce in gold and silver, especially for those of you that live in states, because there are several. Missouri's got the best legislation, but there are several you can do this. You need to learn how. So even if you don't live in the state of Missouri, you should come to this meeting, especially if your state has a gold and silver bill. And even if not, you still need to know. You need to understand these things. Because like I said, none of us have done this. None of us have lived in a society where that's how we traded. Now, I know that some of you are going to say, well, gold and silver is not everything. You can't eat it. And when your people are starving to death, they'll trade a bar of gold for a loaf of bread. 100%. 100% true. But if you've listened to me over the few years, I've told you that there's different levels of collapse, right? We're in one level right now. And then we'll get to this next level where the currencies have no value, so we're doing gold and silver, right? Or precious metals, and maybe even bartering and stuff like that, because they've switched us over to this digital currency where they're going to control our lives. And then, of course, then we get to the level where even gold and silver is no longer value, at least to a lot of people. I get it. It is a transitory type of thing. But it's still something you need to know. I've never been one of those that thinks you should put all of your, wealth into gold and silver. You should have some land, you should have your preps and all that kind of stuff. But this is another way to take back that control that the big global government, regardless of political party, has held over us for such a long time. And it's happening. There are, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it anymore. If you look at so many charts, you have to push past the lies. Oh, the economy's booming. Strongest economy ever. Lowest grocery prices ever. It's hogwash, folks. It's hogwash. You know it. I know it. It's hogwash. And I know I could get on here and just totally blame the Trump administration. Biden administration was doing the same thing. He was on there talking about how great the economy is, strongest economy ever. They were doing the same thing. They're all lies, all of them. You and I have to take control of our lives. We have to be prepared for things that are happening, that may happen. And this is one of those ways. And the reason why I'm pushing this so hard is because it's not something that most or really any of us fully know. I mean, you can read upon it, but we've never done it, right? We've never done it. You can learn how to grow a garden right now. That's easy. Most of you do, but most of you aren't out there doing gold and silver for all of your transactions and how it works. And if you're running a business or anything, how do you take gold and silver? How do you make that work for you? Because the products you're selling are the values based in US dollars still. That's why we need this kind of stuff. It is important. It's not maybe the most important thing in the world, but it is very important because we are on the verge of a currency collapse. And you need to wake up, folks. Will it collapse to zero? Will it be like Venezuela where it's worth trillions and trillions, or the denomination or trillions of dollars? I don't know. I mean, yesterday, President Trump and the White House said that they are considering a $250 bill. They're going to put Trump's face on it, but a $250 bill. We haven't had anything more than a $100 bill in a long, long time. So now we're talking about $250 bill. Right there, folks, it's inflation. It means the dollar's losing value. Next thing you know, it'll be a $2,500 bill, and then a $25,000 bill. Just wait. So anyways, the last Sunday of this month is this meeting that I'm speaking of. If you're interested, shoot me an email, and I'll send you a flyer for it and all that kind of stuff. It's a big deal. We need to be paying attention to this. We are in an economic downward spiral, okay? We're not eating, dirt and all that kind of stuff and burning our currency for warmth yet. But we are in those stages. You can chart it and map it out, and you need to wake up. Yeah, war is bad. It's happening. Some type of civil war is happening on some level. That's bad. But you need to wake up to this, because it's going to hit us before you know it. Folks, it's time to get your houses in order and to prepare yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next video.